Good afternoon. I'm Pili, the senior creator of M+, a visual culture museum in Hong Kong, which will open soon. It's my great honor today to present in Martin-Roth-Symposium. I'm very happy to talk about this exciting topic about the museum futures, especially the topic in our session, museum and entertainment. When we talk about the museum and entertainment, it's in the background that the museum are facing a series of the challenges since the middle of the 20th century. If I may, if I may, can crystallize or simplify these challenges, I would say there are four major challenges. The first challenge is about the whole structure of our knowledge has been changed. I mean, just like we are not only believe there are one single knowledge to understand the world. There are not only single narrative of the history. There are many new knowledge and the change of the daily life, the change of our culture production also change the structure of our knowledge. The second challenge is the whole understanding the concept of the history. I think, as many people say, is the end of the art history, which means there are not only a single narrative of the history. There are many histories related to the region, different identity, and the different cultures. The third change is the production model of the intellectual has been changed. I mean, besides of the school, besides of the museum, there are many new platforms can also produce the knowledge. And the fourth challenge is the whole concept, political concept of new liberalism in the middle of since the middle of the 1990s. I have to say, this kind of the change, the structure of the knowledge and the change of the art history or the ending of the art history really invoke a more open concept of the museum. It reminds us the traditional elite concept of the museum, of the art history, of the history museum are no longer valid. We have to develop a new museum culture, a new field for museum to match or to really look into the change of knowledge since the 20th century. For M+, as our vision, we are a visual culture museum, focused on those visual culture products since the 20th century till now. So when we use the visual culture to replace the traditional idea of the visual art, that already shows we want to have a more open concept for the culture and history study. Within this concept, we are not only focused on the traditional visual arts, we are also focused on the architecture, design, moving image, as well as the popular culture. And this really make us have the opportunity to really to put this kind of the popular culture and elite art in the same room. We can have the more equalism idea perspective to understand the different products of the human civilization and the human culture. So this really show that with this kind of the first two challenges, the museum really have the open idea to the popular culture, to this culture related to the entertainment. I think that's a big step. I'm very proud to be a part of this kind of change. But when we talk about there are still other changes which can also challenge the museum. The first is like the production model, the model of the production model of the intellectuals also has been changed. Museum and the school no longer no longer monopolize the education and the knowledge dissemination, and their status is challenged by the virus of the culture and the popular culture institutions. They are also challenged by the popular culture, internet, social media, this kind of thing. So there are many ways, there are many approach, many platforms can offer us the knowledge, and this really forced museum to find a way to be more interesting, to can have the competition with those institutions and the platforms. And on the other hand, I would say the whole political concept, political idea of new liberalism also changed the idea of the museum. The number of the attendance become the key performance index of the museum operation. Museum, while they have to be charity, but they also have to develop their commercial program to give museum the sustainability. The museum have to develop their marketing program as same as those commercial enterprise. Then we can see there keep expanding museum shops, blockbuster shows, international traveling shows. In the recent museum practices, many exhibitions even need to have a corner for the audience can make a selfie. The museum can also or have sometimes invited the museum invited kind of internet celebrities to promote their show. This also reflects the change of the audience psychology when they go to the museum. The audience used to enter the museum with an educated mind, but now it has become a lifestyle to show their tastes. So when the museum faced these changes of the new production model for the intellectual, when they face the challenge of the new liberalism, means museum has to develop the way to be competitive with the entertainment, to make more people feel more joyful in the museum. But I want to emphasize the museum is a place to produce the intellectual. It's a place to interact with our intellectual, not only interact with our sensibility. So this make a museum is different from the Disneyland. As we are now emerge from the post-COVID-19 with the social distancing as a part of the new normality, going to an art museum and to see an art object simply physically becomes a privileged experience. Art museum should be more open-minded to leverage their content on digital platforms such as internet and social media to provide an accessible, joyful, immersive, inclusive, and participatory experience for audience. Yet, we must remember museum is a place with a dignity where brings us aesthetic and intellectual enjoyment. It is not a carnival to pure stimulate our sense as those booming exhibitions in the new shopping mall. So this is my idea, my concept, my opinion of the museum and entertainment. And I'm looking forward to engage in a discussion with you all in my deep dive session.